Hello Stampers, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Alberta, Canada. Thank you for joining me today. Today, Monday, October 7th, for my Mystery Monday video. So today we are going to take a look at this Winterly Treetops bundle. So this is the stamp set, and these are, the dies. So quite a variety, and this really nice big one here will be really neat to use. So it is a foam set, so not fully photopolymer, and I think it can probably be used for other occasions other than Christmas, right? I mean, there are some other greetings in here that aren't Christmas related, but I am going to try to turn this project today into a Christmas project. And if you're looking for this stamp set or the bundle, you can find it in the mini. And it is part of the Nests of Winter suite, starting on page 31. And there are some other really nice samples in here as well. So it's the stamp set, the dies, the whole suite, the really large new birch 3D embossing folder, some twine, some embellishments, and this really pretty paper, which we aren't going to use today, but it also does really coordinate well with the suite. So that is what we are going to play with today. And this is our project. It's kind of a monochromatic kind of feel to it. I actually got this idea from Melanie Hawken, who I'm not sure where she's a demo, possibly in the US. Her website is Mel's Inking Fingers, if you want to check it out. And I did switch up her design a little bit. Hers was actually pretty much totally monochromatic, but I wanted to put this pop of red in here just to give it a little bit more of a Christmas feel. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little bit of a shimmer on these birds and the holly berries. So I'm going to show you a new technique on how we are going to do that. Okay, so let's start. I did pre-do a couple of pieces, but we're just going to start first of all with our base and such, and then put that aside while we do our birds. So this is a piece of crumb cake cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, our usual base, and I will again post all these measurements, and there will be the video will also go on YouTube as well if you want to look at it again. So we are using this as our base. Then we're going to add a piece of cherry cobbler. And I mean, you could switch this up to Mossy Meadow or Early Espresso or any other one you wanted, or you don't have to do it at all. Like I said, Melanie did hers just very monochromatic. She didn't even put this layer on. Okay, and then I did use that birch embossing folder, and this is what it comes out like. And that's also in crumb cake. So we're just going to pop that on top of our cherry cobbler. And then we're going to set this aside while we do some birds. Okay, so let me get the stamp out, and we will do this from the beginning. And some of you have probably done this technique before. And I have a piece of scrap paper in crumb cake, and I'm going to use pecan pie ink. Okay, so we're going to stamp our bird image with the pecan pie. And let's stamp this on here. Cute, super cute. Okay, let me close this so I don't get my fingers in it. All right, so now you're going to do some coloring. So the first bit I want to do is I just want to color this branch, and I'm going to just use my pecan pie marker, and I'm just going to go in and just fill in this branch. And then then we will get to the other technique part, which like I said, some of you have probably done or have heard of it, and it's kind of a really neat effect if you want a little bit of shimmer on your project. Okay, where else? Birds are so cute. Okay, let's just color this here. And these little ones here. Okay, let's see if I've missed anything. I think that looks not too bad. Yeah, okay. All right, so now we're going to use our Wink of Stella. This is our glitter brush, which is really fun to use, especially, like I said, if you want to add a teeny bit of shimmer to some of your projects, whether that's to florals or to birds or whatever you'd like. And we're going to mix this with some re-inker to color our birds. So the two colors are Cherry Cobbler and Crumb Cake. So I'm going to start, I think, with the birds. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little drop of the Crumb Cake re-inker. I hope you can see this on camera. Maybe I should do it up here. Just a little bit, and we can always add more if we need to. And we are going to take our Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to put a little bit of it over here. Hopefully, oops, that's a little bit more than I wanted, but you get the idea. Let me just brush some of this off that we don't need. Okay, so then I'm going to keep using my Wink of Stella, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a little bit of the Wink of Stella with my brush and a little bit of that Crumb Cake. Now you can kind of swirl it to get it, you know, a little bit lighter tone. I am not an artist by any means. I'm sure a lot of you are way better at this than me. So I just wanted to show you this technique. So we're just going to take our brush, and it's basically just we're just turning it into a paintbrush. And we're just going to color our birds. And you can pick up more or less, whatever you like, whatever shade you like. Okay, so I'm hoping to get a little bit lighter to start, and then we can always go darker on top. Okay, so you're just gonna fill this in on both of the birds. I'm gonna do his beak, maybe just red for something else. I'll try not to do that in Crumb Cake. Okay, and let's pick up a little bit more, and we'll do this bird. And it goes fairly quickly. The only thing you need to do is let this dry a little bit. You could probably take your heat tool and gently sort of, you know, set it just to dry, because you are going to have to run this through your your die cut machine after to cut out these birds. Okay, so now I want to add a little bit more color to the feathers just to get them darker. So I'm just picking up a little bit more of that Crumb Cake just to get these feathers a little bit darker. I'll do a little tuft on his head. And we'll do this feather. And as light or as dark as you want. Like I said, you guys are probably fantastic artists and painters. And do great watercolors and things like that, but I am not so much. So I'm just sort of winging it just to kind of show you the technique, and you know, you guys can experiment, and it might need a little bit of practice. I don't know. Some people are just natural. Some have to work a little bit harder, like me. And like I say, do it as light or as dark as you like. Okay, so you can always just pick up a little bit more of that ink and just, you know, sort of add it if you want a darker area. I might just do like their eyes a little bit. just so we can see their eyes. Okay, so something like that. Now, do you see that shimmer? I don't know if you can catch it on the camera here, but there is a bit of shimmer to these birds. Okay, let me see. And you can always go back and add more color if you need to, wherever you like. Like I said, I don't have a clue what type of birds these are. But we'll just leave them like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean my brush. I'm just gonna wipe off the tip with a paper towel or a wet cloth if you have. And then I'm gonna add the cherry cobbler to color my berries. Okay, so again, I just need a real little bit, and we can always add more. So I'm gonna take some of this Wink of Stella that we didn't put in the crumb cake and just mix it with this cherry cobbler. And then we're just gonna paint our little holly berries. Again, as light or as dark as you like. And this is nice, like if you want, you know, to make some really pretty flowers, give them a little bit of a shimmer. It just adds a little bit of something to make them, you know, really pretty, or even a little bit more elegant sometimes. Okay, let's just do these ones here. Hard to believe Christmas is going to be here in just a few months, but I know up here in Canada we are getting ready for our Canadian Thanksgiving next weekend, which I am looking forward to. It is one of my absolute favorite holidays. I just love Thanksgiving. Just with the weather, it can be so beautiful and warm, and all the colors, and the delicious food, of course. So some people have their traditional turkey, others make something different, whatever the family likes, and there's always pumpkin pie, right? Okay, and let's just add a teeny bit to their beak. I probably could have done this a different color, but I'll just do it in the red. Okay, so do you see there's a little bit of a shimmer on those berries? So like I said, what you want to do is let this dry. It doesn't take very long before you cut it out in your die cut machine, because you don't want to, you know, get this Wink of Stella all over your dies and things. Okay, and then I'm just going to wipe this off with my paper towel. Get rid of that before we get that all over the place. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside because I did do one ahead of time, and I cut them out with the dye in the bundle, so you can see a little bit of that shimmer. I hope you can see it. Okay, so now let's put our pieces together. So we have our base that's all ready to go. So I'm going to pop these guys up with some dimensionals, and then I'm going to add a few of the branches just underneath. And again, we're doing this very monochromatic, so it can be very striking as well. Monochromatic, especially one of my favorites is white on white with maybe a little bit of a gold accent or something like that. I just love that. I think that's so beautiful. Okay, so let us put these guys maybe a little bit towards the top, like so. Okay, and then I went ahead and I pre-cut a bunch of the kind of the, what are they, like spruce branches, I guess, but we did them in the crumb cake, so I think I have about 6. And we're just gonna stick those on wherever you like. Now you could put them on with a glue dot, you could just use liquid glue. I'm just gonna use my my snail, and we're just going to tuck it under without the ends showing. Okay, so they're very subtle, you know, very, very subtle. Okay, so let's stick a couple of these around. Oop. Okay, maybe, what if we can stick one up here? That's not too bad. One up there, and then we'll put some under the other bird. Okay, let's do one. If they overlap a bit, that's fine too. And you can add, like I say, as few or as many as you like. There's no right or wrong for sure. Or if you wanted to do them a different color, I suppose you could too, but we're going to try to stick to this color palette here and see how it goes once it's all done. You can leave me a comment and tell me what you think. Okay, so there's some of our branches, if you can see those. And then I did a greeting from, oops, did this get ripped a little bit? Something happened there. Might have to redo that, but this is from, maybe I'll just tuck it under so we don't see. This is from the Christmas labels bundle. So there's a whole bunch of different labels here, and there are some not labels, greetings, pardon me. And then there are 4 different dies that you can use to cut them out. So I used this particular one, but there are some bigger dies that will, fit some of these larger greetings. So this is a handy one to have around at Christmas. So I'm going to see if I can just tuck this under maybe his wing so we don't see it. Okay, all these tricks that we do, right? Oh my gosh. All right. Little tricks of the trade. Always good to have some of those up your sleeve. Okay. So we're just going to tuck this under here so we don't see that little gouge. However that happened is strange, but okay, so there's our piece on Earth. Okay, and our little shimmery birds and holly berries. And then I'm going to add a bow. So this I just I used the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. Which looks like this. So you get 4 of the neutral Baker's Twine, and I use this one here. There's the white, and this is kind of the off-white, or maybe it's even vanilla. I bet you that's what that is. Vanilla. And we're just going to stick this on with a glue dot. Sometimes I use double the amount of twine to make a bow, but this one, I don't know, it just is a little bit thicker to me, so I just used the single strand. Okay, so let me just, you can have these tails long if you want. I'm just gonna trim them a teeny bit here. It always drives me a little crazy. This twine, whenever it's on a spool like that, it always comes out curled, right? So for me, maybe you guys don't have this problem, but for me, it just always has a bit of a curl to it. So, okay, and then our last is we are going to add a couple of gems or some embellishments. So these are the Earth Tones Shimmer Gems. So they come in 4 different colors. On my sample, I use these. I wonder if I should use those. Let me see which ones. These ones aren't too bad. They kind of blend in pretty good. These ones might kind of stick out a bit. So let's try those again. And they come in 2 different sizes. So you have the smaller and the larger. So let's start with a large one, maybe down here. And wherever you like, wherever. It's always just a little bit of extra bling. Okay. Even right on there is fine. Okay, what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one up here. 5. 5 is, I always like to stick to an odd number. I don't know about you guys, but so there you go. There is our winterly treetops Christmas card. So something a little bit different as far as color palette with that monotone crumb cake happening. But let me know what you think. Leave me a comment in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think of that or how you might switch it up. So I hope you enjoyed learning that technique too. If you haven't already done it, it's very, very simple. And, you know, it does give that little bit of shimmer, which is always fun. So, and it colors and adds shimmer all at the same time. All right, my friends, have a really great week. Those of you celebrating Thanksgiving on Sunday, all my Canadian friends, I hope you have a wonderful day with family. And for those of you celebrating on Monday, which I think is what we're going to do, I hope you have a wonderful day as well. So we will see you next week. Bye for now.